Hello, my name's Chris Holland and I'd like to show you how to cook popcorn on one of these little rocket stoves. This one over here is made by Anevay stoves. It's a Horizon stove, and I've got a little wok over there and popcorn, so let's give it a go. In forest school we often end up using quite a lot of wood, and so our forests or woods or places that we do forest school, watch out for the noise, can be denuded of firewood. So I tend to use this wood that I get offcuts from the local sawmill, and use these a lot for cooking with, because it's nice and dry, it's relatively smoke free. Well, smoke free, not really, but still, smoke can be less smoky than wet or not completely dry wood from the forest. So I'm making a few of what we call feather sticks here to put into the stove, and I'll put a bunch of these in from the top. There we go. Oh, excuse hands. It's just a lot quicker sometimes. Obviously, if I'm doing this with the children, then I don't necessarily do that, but I use one of these batty sticks. So there we go. Let's get a few of these ready. So these help us have the really thin sticks that you need to get a fire going, and because it's pine, it does tend to light very easily. It's not very hot flame, but it's pretty good. I'm going to put that one in there, and this one in there too. So it's worth preparing, obviously. Spend more time preparing sometimes than actually cooking things. But there you go. So yeah, going back to the environmental consequences of cooking on fires outdoors, there's obviously quite a lot of pollution made, smoke, etc., from cooking. But you know, humans have done that for hundreds of thousands of years. But still, I find that with forest school, a lot of us have fires quite often, and the kids love making fires, playing with fire, learning how to make fires, doing firework, as I call it. And so how can we minimise our impact on the environment and our use of resources, etc.? And one of those ways, I think, is by using rocket stoves. I mean, they can be 30% more efficient than an open fire, and they contain the fire really well, and just help help the wood burn more efficiently. And as far as the kids are concerned, they really enjoy using it too. So especially in the summer months when we want to have a bit of food, but we don't want to have lots of heat and smoke, and then we can just use one of these rocket stoves.
So I'm loading some in from the bottom vent over here, and also putting some in the top too. So we need like 5 or 6 of these feather sticks to help light the fire. There we go, that's probably enough, but I'm just going to put a few bits and bobs in from the top as well. There we go, these thin pieces should just help the fire light. Right, where's the sheath? There it is. Let's put that in there. Okay, that goes in there.
And then a few more in there. Let's just bring this over so you can have a look at the stove. There you go, this is what it looks like inside. Lots of nice thin pieces of wood for the flames to catch on, and in the top there's some as well. But this stove is really good in that it lights quickly and easily, usually, touch wood, and it's really light to carry around. It doesn't hold its heat for a long time, which is a good thing, because when you're packing away at the end of the day, I found that the ceramic stoves that I used to, the rocket stoves that I had with sort of bricks inside them, they were heavy, and also they take a long time to cool down, whereas this one doesn't, which is a good thing. Right, I've also got here, just to help the fire to light, and maybe to just show you an extra little trick, which is just to use some string. So you can untwizzle the string like this. You might know this already, but it's quite a good source of tinder if you haven't got any cotton wool. It's not quite as easy to light, but if you have got some cotton wool, then this is really good for helping carry the flame to the smaller pieces of wood. So there you go, you can get a few of these and put them in the stove as well. That just helps it light, because I think it's really worth preparing so that each time you do light, you only have to do it once. So that goes in there, and then let's get some other kind of tinder. Yes, I am cheating. I'm using good old cotton wool pads. Put them in there. You don't have to use a fire steel to light this, but yeah, you could use matches, whatever it is. But you have to be careful around the edge of this one because the metal is quite sharp. But there we go. Whoops, in you go. And off the stove goes. So hopefully that will light and we can get cooking. Good. So I'm going to put the wok on top. I find that a wok is much better than using sieves. I have used sieves quite a lot on an open fire in the hot coals at the bottom, but this means that you don't have to have such a big fire, and yeah, and I burn the charcoal a lot less often as well. So yeah, that's going nicely. I seem to be sitting in the flame, so I'm going to come around to this side. There we go. As you can see, the stove does light really easily and it burns well. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah. Oh yeah, the other good thing about the wok lids is that you can play music on them. Pretty good things, aren't they? Anyway, let's get some coconut oil in. There you go, on the bottom. The good thing about coconut oil is that it burns or cooks it has a very high flame point. So it just means, for some reason, that it gets up to a good temperature for cooking the popcorn with. So let's wait for all that to melt. Just get a little bit more of the edge of the flame on it. What I find is with this stove is that, as you can see, it kind of has a really nice flame that comes out the top if you do feed it from the bottom. But if you want to sort of have a longer lasting flame to sit round, then you can also put some bigger logs in from the top as well when you're not cooking on it. So let's let that happen. I can hear the pan warming up. I can hear the robins being just cross with each other. Put some of that in there. There we go. Get the lid on. Takes a little while for the popcorn to cook, doesn't it? Need a story to tell whilst we're cooking popcorn. Don't actually have one about popcorn. I suppose I better. How did it happen that popcorn started to pop? When did that happen? What's the creation myth about popcorn? Don't know. I can hear them inside though. They're popping away. There you go. Get a good sound effect. It's quite a happy sound, isn't it? Kids love it. What's your favourite flavour of popcorn? Put it down underneath. It'd be good to have some comments underneath about, what's your favourite topping for popcorn. For me, it really is just salt. That is the best thing. I sometimes like a bit of butter as well. And a bit of sugar, yeah, it could be. The kids like salt and sweet. That's their favourite. But I don't like putting sugar into my wok because it kind of caramelizes and makes it really difficult to clean. So I don't do that in the wok, but I would use This is what I use for serving the popcorn. Just use an old colander. Yeah, get that from the recycling centre, as I did this wok actually. So it's cooking very nicely. Let's see, you can have a quick sneak peek. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I guess one of my favourites would probably be maple syrup, sugar, if you can get that. The crystals. Once bought some from Sainsbury's and reduced price. It's lovely. Really nice in coffee. There you go. That's pretty much it. The popcorn is done. Popcorn. So there you go. There's one way to cook popcorn on a rocket stove. This one is a Horizon stove from Anevay in a wok. And my name is Chris Holland, and some of you know me as the author of this book called I Love My World. There you go. That's what it looks like. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.